What makes me feel vulnerable is it used to be sharing about my life and about the history that I have lived. And I have discovered that the more that I talk about it, the less vulnerable I feel. I feel like some of the things that have happened in my life might cause that emotion called shame or embarrassment, and me talking through it and sharing it and being open about it broke that. And so I no longer feel the shame and embarrassment. For example, like being a teenage mom, I'm able to say that and not have a stigma attached. And it took me many years to get there. And so through that vulnerability and me pushing through it, now I feel confident about it, and I feel that it's just a part of my history. It's nothing to feel shameful of, nothing to feel embarrassed about, and that vulnerability kind of like melted away.
You like being on the podcast?
Sniffing into the microphone
What do
is
you
too
want to
much.
say? What do you want to say? That you're the cutest dog in the whole wide world? Do you want to announce that in the whole wide world? Yeah.
The cutest baby.
Show your face.
Oh my god, how are you feeling?
I am.
You have to be like, are you not overwhelmed?
No, not anymore.
You are spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
Slash alien.
No, honestly, these guys. The thing is, they live with me, Akash and Mark, so they know that I'm psychotic and I have a lot.
You're not psychotic.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Tell
wonderful.
him that. He's
She's not psychotic most of the time.
I mean, like, I'm just like, she knows. I've been saying this since I met you. I'm just always in awe. I'm like,
It's, you know what? I also know that it's time. Look at him.
I love
It's
it.
time for a break.
You're getting there.
But I've been getting there for 3 months. I've been
Fair
saying
enough.
that for the last 3 months. Every time I
Yes.
speak to you, I'm like, I know, it's time for a break, and then something else pops up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm exhausted, and today I can actually feel it. But I'm excited to get married.
And
I'm
tonight
like,
will be fun.
yeah,
She's gonna go try on dresses the American way.
That's why I'm wearing a white dress.
I'm sad to miss it.
I know,
Take
I'm sad.
photos and videos. Tennille.
Yes. Tennille. Wow.
Is she not an angel?
She's an angel. She's like, I have no words for her. Did you see how quiet I was? I was
I
just
know, I was
staring
too.
at her. We were both like,
I mean, she's so well spoken. I haven't asked her if she's done podcasts before. Maybe she probably has.
I assume she
But
has done a billion.
gosh.
But wow, she's amazing.
She's so calming to be around, and
She switched my mood for sure.
yeah,
She switched my energy.
yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't turn on the other light. Sorry if we look dark, people.
Yeah.
I think we have enough light though.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I was just really excited to have her on. Her energy kind of reminds me of like Brandon Cross, who we also
Yeah.
interviewed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just like I said, I get overwhelmed at the like brand events and stuff, and there's certain people that I know that I'll see, and I'll just be like,
Yeah.
you know, like to
Charges
have that
you.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of small talk.
Yeah.
You know, I know
There's
you know.
too much small talk.
I know.
But you know what? That's actually something I'm proud of. I will go up to someone, I'll be like, I really don't like small talk. Can we just like,
Yeah.
tell me about your life now?
Yeah.
and then it ends up working out.
What are you
for
going
me.
through? Tell me your childhood
Yeah,
trauma.
Yeah.
So
I
we get
straight
high
up
on.
say it. Exactly. Because then you get to know people and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you're my vibe. You're not.
And maybe
you
that's
are.
what it is about Tennille and like about Brandon, is that they are so organically vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it's the people who struggle with that like keep it tight to them, that's like an energetic feeling of
Yeah.
or difference that we sense. I don't know what it is.
Neither do I, but they both have this like very peaceful energy.
And they'll go there right away.
Yeah.
Like they'll go deep right away.
Yeah.
I
And it
just-
didn't feel forced in any way. You know, it's so
No.
nice. It just
And it's like,
flows.
oh, you guys are gonna love just like how unique her business is and how she set it up and how she works as a family. And it's the dream. Like, so I'm really excited for everyone to hear about it because it's just super inspiring. And
It really is. It's the
I'm like,
dream,
how
but
can I
also
be
she
that?
knows that she's reached a point where it's her dream.
She just beams.
Exactly.
She is beaming. Like the sparkles we were talking about under her eyes. I was just like,
I need to go buy some.
This is like a physical manifestation of beauty. When we talk about beauty is internal first, like those sparkles on her eye came from an internal place.
Yes, it did.
Like,
She was
I
like,
love-
I'm ready to show everyone that I'm
Oh,
here to sparkle.
Okay, bye, Ty.
Bye,
So
Tiberius.
we hope
He's like,
you.
I'm done with you girls. You talk too much.
Yeah. Be more concise. We're not good at that.
No, clearly. So is this our intro or our outro?
This is our intro. We tried to film our intro before the episode, but today Mark and I looked at each other. We're like, today went by so fast.
It really did.
Like, holy moly.
Yeah, we don't get time in between.
And I know you have so much more going on, so I don't want to
Yeah.
keep us, but
How are you doing?
shit, man, I don't know.
Actually, I didn't ask you that. Everyone's asking me that because I'm the bride, and I'm like, no. But how are you doing? It's harder being the bride's like bridesmaid, maid of honor, maid of horror.
I'm having like some pretty difficult conversations in my personal relationship again. But it's a weird feeling this time because it's like, it's still a hard conversation, but there's more of a sense of ease about it and just being like so open and honest and real with one another. And I don't want to go too deep because like my partner isn't public and like, you know, it's not for me to share necessarily, but yeah, I've like leading up to moving back to LA from Nashville, like I was definitely spiraling a little bit and the move was really stressful, but I'm just so happy to be back in LA. Like I landed here and I was just like, like this is where I belong.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. But I love the fact that Nashville gives me the perspective of like so much gratitude for being here because I didn't necessarily feel that before Nashville. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And then also just being in the South and seeing a different way of living has taught me so much. So I don't know. I guess, you know, people say that like our world is so polarized and it's like, oh, you're happy or sad, it's black or white. Like right now I feel like I'm just like somewhere in the middle and I'm kind of balancing these like hard feelings and these happy feelings. And it's a strange experience, but I feel that it's shown me some growth, like some self-growth, that I can like be there.
That's really good.
And be okay in uncertainty or discomfort.
That's really good, actually.
It is
to
good,
be in that.
But also scary as shit. It just, you know, life is scary.
Life is scary.
But yeah.
Life is scary in general.
Yeah, and I love filming with you, and I appreciate like everyone who's here and the energy that
Energy's been really good.
Just feels cozy and comfy.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I got a little bit stressy before our guest got here. I was just
Oh.
like, the card wasn't working, and I was like, no, we're not going to film the intro.
I didn't even see you get stressy.
Well, it's funny because people are always like, they'll meet me and I'll be like, I'm the most anxious, whatever. And they're like, what? And I think I'm really good at hiding it. But I get through it a lot quicker than I used to.
Yeah.
You know, like it'll come through me and I'll be like, okay, Melinda, this is
over.
unnecessary. Let's reset, take a deep breath. Like once we started filming, I literally like had a moment of presence while you were talking for a minute. And I just like took a breath and I was like, okay, I'm here now.
Oh, wow. I did not see that. I did not see you like stressing at that moment.
Well, I'm glad that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that I don't want you to see it, but I'm glad that it's not impacting others because I would never want that. And it's great because I used to not be able to move through it that quickly. I used to not be able to practice presence like in the middle of something else. And all of my practice with meditation and stuff is really what got me there.
That's helped you. That's good.
So even though I'm not meditating as regularly as I used to, it feels promising.
Are you doing breath work?
I do when I need it. I'm not doing it daily. I would like to get more into like a practice again, but it's always in my toolkit. Before I came in to film yesterday morning, I did it in my car.
Okay.
So it's like,
let's do it before I walk down the aisle when we're hanging out together.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
Yeah, can you do a guided breath work?
Absolutely.
That would be so nice.
Hell yes.
A fun one.
Yes, anything you need. I'm just like so excited for you guys. I'm any way you want to support me. Do you have a registry, by the way?
No, because I like such nice things.
I
wouldn't
but
want
like
to put it on.
even like what about like a honey fund? Isn't that what they call it?
I don't know. I want to ask for people.
I know you don't want to, but people always want to get you something.
I don't know. This was a conversation we had about.
I'm not trying to pressure.
No,
I
I
don't
know.
wanna-
No, it's
It's
okay.
not my business. I just was like,
You can
wait,
jump
I wanna,
in now, handsome. You did your hair on purpose because I know you wanted to jump in. Don't even look what he did.
Natasha's fiance.
He went and brushed his hair.
It looks so good.
No, he brushed his hair.
It looks so good, Akash. I'm
Just
so here
walk
for
in.
it.
Come on, it's fine.
Come on in.
What's up?
He's gonna act all shy.
Shy, what are you talking about?
Look, walked all the way around
Here, you can.
to show his hot new body.
Okay. You just share a microphone.
Ow.
You'll share a microphone.
We could share a microphone.
You're gonna share your whole life. You're gonna share a
You
microphone.
know what? Akash is going to start a podcast.
Is Akash in frame, Mark?
Yeah,
Enough?
barely. And I do think we should turn on this other light.
Okay, we're getting. We need
Oh.
to like situate. Have a full moment for Akash right now.
Yeah.
Do you have enough space?
Oh, Ty.
The whole
Sure.
family.
Ty, sit. Ty,
Sit.
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 Oh my gosh.
He's blocking your face.
No, I don't. I literally don't care.
What's up,
Here.
buddy?
Akash.
He knows where to go. You know what?
You
I
wanna
should get
take-
a better cup if we're gonna be.
No,
on
it's
camera.
fine. No,
Oh, it's
please relax.
fine.
We're very real on this.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, okay,
and I
good.
think you'll be
Get it out
fine
of
with
the way.
this.
Huh? No, I'm drinking my coffee. What was the question?
Akash is gonna start his own podcast.
Are you?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
actually starting his own.
Wow.
Encouraged by watching this amazing production.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it's-
Congratulations.
Because actually, you know what's funny? I looked back at this goal list from 2017, and one of my things was to start a podcast. I didn't know what about, but
Yeah.
yeah. So,
What's it gonna be about?
so what I'm gonna start a podcast about, and it's gonna be the way I look at it is it's like a first draft.
Mhm.
You guys had a really awesome concept that makes a ton of sense that's come together.
Thank you.
For me, I just want to kind of start it out and see what happens. So
Good for you.
I'm gonna focus on biotech in LA.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm doing biotech in LA. People don't view it as a hub for biotech, and that's what we're gonna do.
And you know, every podcast masterclass that I attend, like through Spotify or anything, that's the one thing that they always say. They're like, don't get caught up in perfection. Like, just do it.
Yeah,
Like, don't get caught up in perfect framing or perfect lighting. Like, just get started.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
We're excited for your podcast.
Oh, I'm excited for y'all's guests.
I know. How
everyone
great
who-
was Tennille?
She was awesome.
Angelic.
Super awesome.
I get to kind of overhear a little bit of it from
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Y'all are going to love this episode and love Tennille. And I don't think we even got the chance, but she's at Tennille Life.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I need-
definitely like just such a boost to serotonin in your algorithm. Like she's the kind of content that you want. It's the good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to follow her. and
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing her.
Oh, same to you, girl.
Such a wonderful human. I'm excited.
Our
for
networks
her.
are pretty badass.
Yeah, they really are. I love
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
podcast. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or guests that you want us to interview, we have a guest sign up form.
Yep, it's in our link in bio and Instagram. It's a form that you can fill out if you're interested in being a guest or you know someone that might want to be. It's really simple, just a couple questions.
Yeah, we've had
But-
a lot of people asking us. So now we've just tried to put everything in a more organized way and we can look at everyone and you
Yeah.
can be our guest.
Put yourself out there if you want to.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see you at the end. Oh my gosh, your cutest pedicure.
Oh my God, yes.
Is this going to be another foot
We,
thing?
we did an episode where Natasha was talking about my feet, and it was like one of our best performing reels.
Okay.
Polka dot toes, though.
That is so cute.
Okay, I always
Tennille.
do polka dots on my feet because
I'm gonna copy you.
it's
must.
a really easy thing that I could do myself.
Yes.
That's smart, actually.
And my daughters are like,
Do you do gel or is that regular polish?
no, it's just Essie.
Oh my God, you're
With
so
the actual
cute.
brush, or do you have a pen?
I have the little
The
you know,
skinny little
the dual
ones.
one that has like a brush on one side and a little bobby thing or a little.
Gotcha.
But you could do a toothpick or a bobby pin. Like you don't need to
Oh,
be
that's so
fancy.
I think I
Smart.
used a bobby
Oh,
pin.
you
We did like a DIY video for
Yeah.
Sephora.
Yeah, you could
like a
totally do
manicure.
a.
I used a
bo-
bobby
I
pin.
for years used a bobby pin,
Yeah.
but my
Okay.
kids bought me like a whole set.
All set.
But I do my feet myself because I like to use all my bougie skincare on my feet.
Oh my gosh, that's smart.
And so,
No wonder they
but
look
my
so
daughters
nice.
are like, you can't share that online because like you can't give away feet for free.
yeah, that's exactly what we said on
I
our
was
podcast.
like, James is gonna be my feet manager.
How cute are your kids?
They're like, Mom, was that did you have your feet on your stories today? And they're always checking me on that. I'm just like,
That's so
my
cute.
feet were resting on the like ottoman of like taking of the TV. What do you mean? They're like, that's called a foot pick. I was like,
That's a foot
They have to
pick?
pay
Oh my
extra
gosh.
for that.
pay extra. They're like, Mom, let us know if that's a channel you want to start because you'd make some money on there. And I'm like, my toes are not for sale. Like, I will keep them off the internet. Thank you very
Oh
much.
my gosh. I'm sorry I got so distracted.
No,
So
it's-
cute.
It's funny.
But it's cute.
But I would love for you just to give yourself a little intro, say a little bit about who you are and what
Sure.
you do.
Sure. Sometimes when I think about what I do now, it's very much inspiration on life. And it's not just about like lifestyle. It's not about beauty or skinfluencer. These are all things that other people try to, call, maybe put those labels on me. But I just share about life and I share about my experiences
that.
in life. And through that, visually, I share beauty and I share food and I share, fitness or anything that I'm doing that day, what I'm wearing, because I think people still need to be entertained and they want to feel like
A part of
intrigued
it.
about.
Yeah, for
and I
sure.
love those things too. Don't get me wrong. But I pivoted my content very heavily through 2024 to really talk about topics that are more vulnerable, that are very personal, and relatable. Because I think I'm not a perfect person and I'm a work in progress and I really had to claw and fight to be the woman I am today. And somehow if there's, a 4-minute video that I could talk about this, that, and the other while doing my makeup and also celebrating that I take time for myself doing my skincare or whatever I'm doing, but also sharing personal things that have happened to me. It's kind of like wisdom meets beauty
I
meets
like
life.
that.
And what a lot of people don't know about me is I had my first daughter when I was 18. And so by time I reached 40, I've had the life of maybe someone in their late 50s.
Yeah.
And so my life experience is very vast and very broad. And so I have a unique perspective of being just on the other side of 40 at 46, which is still relatable to 30s, 20s, but still respect for the 50s and 60s. So I sit right in this very unique place
Yeah.
that I'm able to reach all these audiences.
With so
and
many
connect.
people.
And
That's really cool.
it's very special. And I know I'm doing what I was meant to be doing.
Oh,
It
I
feels
love
very much that
that.
way.
Ooh,
Yeah.
chills.
I love that.
And also your story, and however much you want to get into it, but just the story of the career shift and like how this happened is so powerful, I think, too. Like
Yeah,
you became so empowered and taking kind of control over your career and what you get to put out and working for yourself.
it's a thing that social media, first of all, I feel like social media, you could take it with a grain of salt sometimes, but I do my very best to share my life in a way that people know that this isn't made up. Okay. And so when I decided to pivot my career, I've had 3 careers in my life. Through my 20s, I was an interior designer doing interior architecture.
That makes so much sense. I don't
Okay.
know if I knew that.
Yes. So I mean, I was very passionate about that. But with
Aesthetics.
a young mom with 2 young kids and too many deadlines, I was stretched thin, and I was like, this is not the life I want to give my daughters. I really want to be the leader in their life as all things. So I resigned from that career and decided I'm gonna be a full-time mom. So I did that also in my
Wow.
20s.
Which is in itself another
It's
career.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
crazy. And then when I was 31, I broke up with their dad and I went my separate ways, and I was living back with my parents, and in leaving him, I didn't have like a house, a car, a job, a home even. And so here I am 31 with a middle schooler and an elementary
Wow.
child. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so lost. And I'm literally wandering around. What am I going to do with myself?
Oof.
And it was very scary. I think
It
it's
must have felt heavy.
it was the scariest time of my life,
Yeah.
for
That sounds-
sure. It's what I needed to do. I don't know where I got the courage, but I do know that that was the best decision I ever made in my life, because
Wow.
my life completely flipped at that juncture. It was very pivotal. I was depressed. I lost a bunch of weight. I lost a bunch of hair. I was unrecognizable to most people who knew me. But somehow I knew that I also had these 2 little girls that are watching me, like, get it together, girl. Like, get out of the bed.
Yeah.
For a solid year.
Wow.
I struggled with just getting up every morning.
Really?
And so my parents they tolerated it for as long as they could. And then they finally were like, listen, how about you come to my office? This was my stepmom who said this. And she is a vice president of a private jet corporation and director of charter. And so anyway, she was like, maybe we can have you like clean planes or something. We'll just find something for you to do. You need to get out of the house because you're wasting away. And she's like, your butt's disappearing. Like, no.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think you notice how you're looking right now. And I mean, I was a reflection of what I was experiencing in life. So I went and she was like, it's not going to be glamorous. You know how you are, T. And I'm like, well, whatever. So, me, I showed up looking how I, put together. And the very first day, they bring me on this jet. I had never been on a jet before.
No.
I'm just like, where am I? And anyway, the director of in-flight services, she like looks at me and she says, you would make a great flight attendant. Wait, how about we train you for flight attendant? I'm been on the job for an hour. And now she's like, now we want you to be a flight attendant. I'm like, whoa. I've been depressed for a year. I barely got here today, barely got myself together. And now you're telling me you want me to fly around the world and leave my 2 babies? Like, oh my gosh, this is way too much. And I like completely flat out said, I'm not interested. And my dad also at the time was working in corporate aviation, and he also worked at that same place for a number of years. Anyway, he and my mom were like, are you crazy? Do you know what kind of offer that? People don't get those kind of offers. What are you doing?
Big opportunity.
Call her back and tell her you reconsider. You reconsider. I was like, oh my God. I was bullied by my parents. That's how I felt at the time. But anyway, I talked to her, this woman, and I said, okay. Let me just learn about what the job is. I don't know what the job is at all. So anyway, I did clean planes.
Okay.
And I did that for 6 months, but I also learned about what it takes to be a private cabin attendant. And because it's not like being a commercial flight attendant. And it was jaw-dropping, very, very like, whoa, okay. So it's like, I try to describe it. Imagine hosting the fanciest dinner party in a plane, except you do that for breakfast and lunch, and you make the beds, and you wash the dishes, and you shop for all the food, and you feed your pilots, and you feed all the people, and you create menus, and
that's bigger than I realized.
You have to have a pretty strong knowledge in wines and cocktails, and barista skills have to be on point, and you have to know what Americano and a cappuccino, and you're doing all these things, and you're the only person who's providing these things. And so it's a
lot to juggle.
It's a lot to juggle.
And you're dealing with different personalities.
And you're dealing with different personalities, and you're dealing with people that know the difference between quality and anything less than that. And they also, it's a very fine balance of being an authoritative figure, but also giving them the respect because they're paying thousands to, and oftentimes they own the aircraft. But my summation is, it's like being a mom. So I just went in there with my mom skills and my design skills and learning how to make food look beautiful and make people feel good about themselves and anticipating needs. And that's what I did through my 30s, all the way up to 42. I was a private flight attendant.
Oh my gosh.
Also having to, I would imagine, demand respect in return. It's like you're creating this environment.
Very much so, because you're the emergency personnel. You need them to know that in case of anything, you need to listen to me. You need to respect my voice, listen to my voice, and obey these, instructions. But also, flip side, what would you like to eat? And is everything to your. So there's just like all these different it's a very unique career, and I was very good at it, and I loved it, loved it, loved it. And I, in the beginning, did like contract work, and I would just fly like Mr. and Mrs. Billionaire or Mr. and Mrs. Celebrity. And I had so many great regular people. And then I got a full-time position on an aircraft, which is pretty much the goal, because you want to have one aircraft that becomes kind of like your home, and, you know, passengers that you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
And it was for Magic Johnson, and he was my boss for 8 years. And I just went where he went and did whatever appointments and meetings, and, you know, we all became like a family. And I got very close to his family, and just really understanding what it took to provide all these things, you know, day in, day out.
Like being a mom.
Yeah. Anticipating.
I mean, not that I know, but
no, it got to the point where
see.
it's like, I know exactly the type of salad dressing he likes with this salad.
Yeah.
And I know exactly how to make the tea for this person and that person. And you just,
But to go from being a young mom at 18 and then into that career, like your entire 20s and 30s were about taking care of other people.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned into this world of being a content creator, if that's an okay term to use.
Yeah, content creator is pretty much what I call myself. I feel like towards maybe 2/3 into my flight attendant career, my best friend, she was like, you have such a cool life and you have a lot of life experience. How about we start a blog? Like, I think it would be really special to share about your travels, parenting, recipes. You're really good in so many categories. Let's do it.
You literally can do it all.
And she, well, at the time I was very like, what is a blog and why would I do this? And she said, don't worry, we'll figure it out. I'll do the like website stuff, and you can, you know, learn to take photos and learn to write. Oh my goodness. And so, it actually gave me a lot of purpose and meaning when I had some downtime in whatever city I was in, and
getting to
That's
focus
so
on
nice.
you.
And it
Like
was
an expression of
yes.
yourself after years of focusing on other people. I would imagine that's very transformative.
It was, I learned so much about myself at that time. That fear that I had of leaving my children, I realized that the best thing for them was to have a little space for me, because they learned to rely on each other in a way. They're 6 years apart, and so they got closer. They created their own little lives when I was away from them, and I was so focused on them that I didn't realize that I was changing, and I learned what it was like to be alone and with my own thoughts and my own needs, and that I really liked taking showers and taking care of my skin and all those things. And I was so proud of myself because my hair was growing back, and I was, you know, pouring into myself in ways that I hadn't ever in my entire life, and giving myself permission to take time. And now that I'm on the road, it's like no one's here to tell me how long to take on my fill in the blank. So, you know, I started working out again. Hotel living can be very challenging if that is your life. I know people think that like living in a hotel all the time is like glamorous and all, and it really isn't. The most important thing. The most important thing is to normalize it and to make it like what you would do at home.
Exactly.
And so that's what I would do on the road.
Routine.
Me too.
Very much have the same routine that I would have at home.
Yeah.
And now I have this other meaning and purpose with the blog. So, you know, I would just take my camera to the gym, and like maybe we're gonna do a blog about foam rolling. I don't know. I mean, I would do things like that. And so one thing leads to another, and a lot of times I would jump on IG stories and like show the skincare that I did. I've been flying all day, let me do my skincare. And people were really into the skincare stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll do more of that. And oh, what did you do with your hair that day? And so it kind of like was transitioning into like more beauty conversation
and organic.
And it was very organic. But in a way, it was beauty that started to heal me because I was taking time for myself, and I didn't know how important that was. I cannot describe to you the feeling of a hot shower and the smell of the soap.
Yeah.
That is what got me out of bed every day. That is what made me feel like I can get out there and face the world. And so I just would share stories like that on the blog even.
No
and
wonder you're literally meant to do this.
it does feel like, I mean, has been a very natural progression. And when I decided to resign from flight attending was 2020. And it was because I could do the job with my eyes closed. I was, like I said, I was very good at my job.
Yeah,
And
not feeling challenged.
I wasn't feeling challenged, but I was most concerned about taking care of my kids and, providing for them. It was financially, it was a great job. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, am I willing to take a bet on myself again? Like, you've done this before, but like, girl, like, can you do this?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And that's when Sephora reached out to me.
Oh, wow.
And January 2020, and everyone was sitting at home, and we were like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? So I started Sephora Squad, and
wow.
I started creating content for them. And I was like, wait, so this is what it's like doing social media full time? And I loved it.
It's like, so being on Sephora Squad, because I was on the first ever Sephora Squad. And I was not like at all who I am now when that was. Like, I think I posted on social, and like I was really into social content. I was running our social channels for Sephora, so like, but just more from behind the camera. But the program like fully pulled me out of my shell. Like, I would not be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for Sephora Squad. And the way that they facilitate like trainings, and they bring like Meta in or TikTok in to like give you tips and tricks, and then you're meeting with brand founders and you learn about product development, and like it's just like the most amazing incubation program for content creators.
It really is. I think it opened my eyes to the potential of this being an actual like full-time job career that I could push myself into. And because I wasn't traveling and splitting myself in a million pieces, and I was dedicating all my time and energy to creating content, I was like, wait a minute, I'm even better at this. Like, I told my best friend, I was like,
You're so good at it,
I'm like,
Tennille.
are we?
I'm like dying to look at my phone right now and just like,
oh my
and
gosh.
like, I'm not just like blowing smoke up your ass, but like, I mean, I'm also biased because I just love you as a human. Your
You're so
energy is
kind.
extraordinary. Like, whenever I see you at an event, it's like a breath of fresh air, because those things can
Thank
be
you.
overstimulating for me, and I'm just like, oh, Tennille's here, I'm gonna go talk to her. And I'm like, but
so
like,
cute.
yeah, it just feels so meant to be for you.
It feels that way for me, living through these moments. And when I decided to resign, it was the hardest thing. I remember the last flight was approximately Christmas timing, maybe a week before Christmas, and I was like, I have to tell my boss in person. I can't like just do this on like an email or let his.
You were with him for how many years?
It was almost 9 years or right around there.
Yeah, no wonder.
And that was just working for him full time. I also used to do charters for him every now and then. So I had already known him for easily 10 years.
Wow.
And he and his wife were kind and gracious and always looked out for me.
Yeah.
And so it felt wrong for me to say goodbye.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing I know, you cannot receive what you're meant to if you're holding on to other things.
Oh, girl, yeah.
And so I was
good
like,
line.
if that's, you can tell I've learned that lesson. So I was like, if I really want to receive what I think I couldn't receive, I need to let this go, because it's taking away from what's now on my heart to pursue. And so I said goodbye in 2021, full-time content creator. And it was the right decision. I flourished in the role. Things just really began to open up, and I continued on with Sephora Squad. And being on Squad is like an automatic introduction into, all the brands in Sephora.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're on every brand gratis list.
yeah.
Your story was so beautiful.
Oh,
Your
really?
life is so amazing.
It's kind of unique.
yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah,
That's pretty
super
cool.
badass.
That's pretty cool.
Super cool. And your kids, no wonder
Absolutely.
they're so proud of you.
They-
Like, I
they
could just
really
imagine.
are.
Thank you,
They-
James.
They're really good.
Thank you.
Also,
thank you.
can I just say something? Your gold eyeliner
I
at
know,
the
I've been
bottom
staring at
is
it.
so
The
beautiful
sparkles are
that
so
I want to
pretty.
do it for my after party look on Saturday for my
It
wedding.
is
Yes.
Urban Decay.
The gold, yeah.
It is the gold one. And I just want to say, when my daughter moved to Korea, she came back with a shit ton of glitter, because that's like their thing. and every day she does like some kind of glitter underneath her eyes. And we went to an event and they gave us the Urban Decay together, and she says, Mom, why haven't you tried it? Why haven't you put the glitter under? And so yesterday I did it in practice for today. Like,
You just look
I was
so
like, I wanted to look a little festive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got my nails done for
I love
today.
it.
Like,
Oh,
I
I
got
love
the festive
it.
nails,
I
and I
love
got
it.
the glitter.
Always the aesthetics.
And
like
then
everything.
I
I'm
love
glad
it.
I did it because I guess it looks
You know
good.
you know what's crazy?
I'm not
Gorgeous.
used to it. So
This was what I would do with all my brides. I was a makeup artist, traveling a lot, doing brides all over the world, and this was one of my signature things: the Urban Decay eyeliner, the
Yeah,
glitter liner
the
for their
glitter.
for their sangeet, which is like the dance party version.
Well, it's like
So I'm gonna do it for myself as a
Do
bride.
it.
Like
You're
a
a
sparkle
sign.
in your eye. Like
Yeah.
She
brightens you up.
She always looks so like a little doll.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it was appropriate on her, that maybe it's really not appropriate on me. But I
No,
did
it's
it yesterday. I
beautiful.
was like, no.
It's beautiful.
Screw appropriate.
This is cute. I
Yes.
love it. And it just immediately like made me feel cute. So I was like,
Yes.
I need to do it.
It's so
So,
good.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
already know the product.
Yeah, I've had every color: the purple, the blue, the green, the
Okay.
whatever. I've had all the
This
colors.
is the little gold
And
one.
it was my thing. I would do it with all my brides, and,
And
yeah,
this is
always
just
underneath, just
Yeah.
exactly like how you've done it.
And I love
Perfect.
that this moment just happened
I
because now you
know.
can do it.
Now
for
you
your
know.
You
after
inspired
party.
me because
Oh,
I was like, oh,
good.
I want to be treated like how I treated my brides.
As you should.
So I'm gonna treat
As you
myself
should.
like that.
Yes. See, that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
With your self-love inspiration.
Yeah, self-love didn't come natural to me. But
Yeah.
Girl, I mean,
None of
never.
us,
yeah,
I think.
no. And I think that's the beautiful thing about what I like about my job now.
Yeah.
And is that I can talk about self-love from the perspective of someone who I grew up with my dad. My dad raised me from 11 years old. He didn't have time to teach me about anything about womanhood at all. And so I learned everything on my own.
Wow.
Like comb hair, all the things that happen to a woman, I learned that all by myself. And so when it comes to like, how do you care for yourself? That too was, you heard, I had to learn that on my own and
Yeah,
give myself
you had
permission for that.
Probably no example either. If your dad's working all the time, you probably didn't see him like really taking care of himself. He's so busy.
He was
Wow.
so busy. I was either
Yeah.
making dinner, studying, or commuting to school. Like that was just the hustle between living with my dad and my brother and myself. It was,
It brings me such joy that now your entire career is focused around like your life.
Yeah.
And the way that your daughters support you, this is like so unique and so cool.
Yeah.
Her daughters basically run her business with her.
What?
They
That's
help
so
her
epic.
create content, edit content,
Oh my
schedule
gosh.
things. Like they are all a team.
That's amazing.
We're a team of
Yeah.
4 currently
That's
because the
awesome.
best friend that
Oh.
pushed me and was like kicking me in the ass to do this, she also quit her job and we do the Tennille Life together.
No way. I love
and
this.
before we had management, that she filled the manager role. And so now that we have management, she's the one that communicates with our management team. And at some point, like 2022, my oldest daughter finished school. And I was like, if you don't really, know what you're going to do per se, she does fashion and she's brilliant
so
and
talented. I follow her
she's
now.
so
obsessed.
good. She's so good.
Yeah.
But I was like, baby, I'm not good at asking for help, but I feel like you and I would work well together.
Wow.
Do you think you could help? And she's like, yeah, I'll come in and help. And she's been with me ever since. And then the little one just graduated from university. And I was like, girl, listen, since you don't have a job yet, what do you think if you come
love
in
this.
and help work closely with me on my organic stuff? Because I'm overwhelmed. And so we have a division of labor that is kind of like, my older daughter, May, does campaign work and anything that has like, we have briefs and all deadlines and stuff for campaigns. That's her domain. And then my younger daughter helps me on all my organic work and just like coming up with ideas, or she's
Wow.
very like in touch with songs, but she helps with the editing. She's like our community manager. She lets me know. She's like, Mom, I'm getting a lot of comments about this. We need to like do a video on that, or she's just the logistics of everything that's community related, and she keeps all my PR organized. And then of course we have team meetings with Carol, who is the best friend that does the other half.
I love
And
this.
she's the one that's like, T, you have this needs to go live this day, you have a meeting doing this, and then when you come back, I've scheduled you to shoot that, and it's due this day, because it is an actual business.
Yes.
This is
This-
like so important, I feel like, to
It's a
talk about
business.
too. Like, I think people, it's so easy to look at content creators on Instagram who have a huge following and just be like, oh my God, how glamorous. And they do this all on their own. And like, that's where digital boundaries come in, right? Because if you had to do all of that and the amount of time you would spend on your devices,
Yeah.
and the amount of
It's obscene. I don't know another word. I'm at an age where I need some separation. I
mean, no matter what age, we
I-
all should have
I-
some
I'm-
separation.
I'm also very driven, and I will become immersed and obsessed, and I will forget that is a priority. And so for a long time before my older daughter May joined, that was how I operated.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
just go, work.
Well, and everyone's got to do that at first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Mhm.
got to make
You
money.
built an
to-
incredible team.
And I have trust issues and control issues. I mean,
Oh, girl, you and me both.
it's just, I know how I want things to look. I know how I want things to feel. And I was nervous about delegating. But once I did, I realized it was what I needed to do. Again, Carol was like, first of all, Carol and I have been friends for like 25 years. I met her at my
Wow.
very first
Wow.
design position when I started as an intern at 20. And we've been friends ever since. So she knows me very well. She's like, you got to let go.
And she's the one who pushed you to do the blog,
Yes,
right? Okay.
Yes. And she's like, no, you got to let go. You got to let go.
Mm.
How are we going to scale and grow and be successful if you won't ask for help and you won't,
True.
you know?
Yeah, and how can you like show the best representation of yourself and put the message out if you're not like present enough to
Yes.
be
And
intentional about that?
I'm so glad because she also has helped me create healthy boundaries, because she doesn't want me to ever go back to how she saw me in my early
Of course,
30s.
yeah.
And so she doesn't want me to be burned out, and she doesn't want me to be so like distraught that
What an angel.
she is an
Yeah.
angel. She is my angel. And she was like, we are going to implement no work on weekends. We're going to implement one day for campaign work. And we're just going to, this is how we're going to do things.
I need a Carol.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, yes, you want to partner with brands, and yes, you want to, I don't know, you want to try all the cool products and do all the things, but for me, it still has to work with my timing. And
Of
so
course.
when we are negotiating a job and we look at the timing and we look at our shooting schedule and our calendar, I shoot every Monday for campaign work. And either it aligns with that, or we will probably pass on the job. And sometimes, I would say 98% of the times, brands really respect it, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll accommodate the timing." And so that's how we work. We produce on Monday, we turn in by Friday, and between Friday and Monday, I have, could be anywhere from 1 to 6 events to go to. I have voiceovers to do for brand work, for my organic
you're at,
work.
like, every brand event.
Yes,
Wow.
I really enjoy the networking and socializing. So by the time Friday comes, girl, I'm
Yeah.
like, let me get my ass in bed.
Yeah.
Don't anyone bother me. I'm with my popcorn and my K-dramas. I'm just like, let me wash my hair and I'm gonna lay in bed all day. And that's just me recharging.
Yeah.
And that's how
nice.
I sustain this career.
You're an introverted extrovert like me, maybe.
It's like, I am so good with people, like, and when I say I'm so good, like, their energy gives me energy,
Yeah.
gives them energy, and it's just like boom, 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 right? But that is just as exhausting as if you're on the treadmill for
sure.
3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And that is something I
Super
really
exhausting.
want people to understand out there, that to be able to give yourself online, you have to be filling your cup back up, and you have to find ways to do that. And I prioritize that. I protect that like nothing else, because because of my history and because of everything I've learned, that I don't do so well when
Yeah.
I'm giving.
Yeah.
Then I waste away, and I don't want to
Yeah.
do that. And I want to stay passionate about what I'm producing and content and connecting with people, because I do know that what I do has value and meaning, and it brings so much to others. But to do so, I need my K-dramas on the weekend.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
I love that.
And fortunately, my daughters, they supplement and they support and they rally and they, I don't know, they're just amazing.
Do they come in the content as well?
My older daughter, all the time. We
Okay.
do, not all the time, a couple times a month we'll do something
Okay,
together.
cute.
And then the little one, she's been in university, so no,
Okay.
we did do a cute little video where she was like, I'm going to teach my mom some Gen Z slang. Let's see if she knows it. And let me tell you,
boy.
it was fun. And I feel like I got like an 85%. There was only a couple things
I feel like you
didn't
would
know.
do really well.
I did pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like you would do really well.
Like,
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
It's
you're
adorable. I feel like I like doing stuff with her that she comes up with. If she's into it, I'm into it, and let's do it.
That's cute.
How fun.
No, it's really special, and I think that it's also important to share that generational content.
Yeah.
And my children are multicultural. Like, I'm Black, but my children are Thai and Salvadorian, and
Oh,
so
wow.
I think it's a very special, unique diversity angle there that, you know, when all three of us are together, we all look quite different, but we feel very much like we share the same brain sometimes. Like, and we're so connected.
Well, and
and
that translates through your content. Because even how we were talking and you were telling me, is it your older daughter that does the editing? Or is it both of them now?
well, the little one's been editing
Okay.
a bunch now. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
like,
probably I was
you were-
talking about my older daughter
She
doing
just
editing.
like gets your
Mhm.
style. Like
Mhm.
I don't think I would be able to tell if you edited something or she did. 'Cause
You
I
wouldn't.
don't notice the
Yeah.
Oh,
difference.
wow. That's
Like
so
you
cool.
really do almost like share a brain.
Hit the jackpot, man. I want to have children
This
do
is
my
the way to be
edits.
a content creator.
Like I need another Natasha. I've always said that, and now
I
I'm just
don't
gonna
know.
produce one.
You know what's so crazy is sometimes I like think to myself like, wow, T, you didn't even know that all these years that this is where you guys would end up.
Yes.
We all live together. We each have our own little, like what I call our little suites. Everyone has their own little pocket in the house. We don't necessarily have to commingle, but we do. And it's like when we're hunkering down and one's doing this and one's doing that, and we've got Carol on FaceTime and I'm over here doing this, and it's pretty spectacular. And I'm really proud of us because we now do what each of us, our natural gifts are being answered and our financial gifts are being answered. And that thing that community thing is so
Yeah.
important to me. And I answer that too. So
I think what's so cool too is if I put myself in like one of your daughter's shoes, to see you hustle so hard and take care of everyone and like really be lacking that self-care, and then them be present to witness you just like explode into this is
Yeah.
so powerful. And then them to get to be a part of that, like I always talk to my sister about this, who has two boys. They're younger, but it's like you can't just tell your kids how to live. You have to show them, right? Like, I'm not a parent, but from watching my mom live her entire life for other people until she died was just so difficult for me to get past and find self-care and self-love for myself. And I broke that generational trauma. It was really hard. And it sounds like your daughters will never have to go there because they got to witness you do that and learn from experience. And not just that, but be a part of
Yeah.
it. Like, that is so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say this. I a little bit in content talk about being a teenage mom, but there's something that there's only so much you can say in content, but one thing about being a mom at 18, and I took my role so seriously. I was like, okay, I don't know. I've never been around children. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I do know one thing. That whole idea of I'm going to behave one way and my child is never going to do those things. That's not real. So you need to be the person you want her to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't care what that is. So we're going back to school and I went to UCLA. I put myself through school and I was like, we're going to be educated. We're going to be poised. We're going to have grace. We're going to teach her language. We're going to teach her culture. We're going to teach her everything. She's going to learn by experiencing. She's going to be a part of your life. She's going to be glued to your hip and we're going to do this. And that was my parenting style.
Wow.
And a lot of people ask me like, well, why don't you drink? And I'm like, listen, I was a mom at 18, that time when you're supposed to be drinking and trying out things.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughter seeing me do that. So
Yeah.
I never did. And I never cultivated that side of, you know, I couldn't afford going out to drink anyway. Who does that? You know, it's so interesting because now when I look at her, I'm like, I can see it. I can see that she has dignity and she has a spine and she's willing to stand up for herself, but she's also wise, kind, and gracious. And she's also snarky and witty and all these things. And I'm like, you see, that is why you did those things, T. This is why
makes
you
me
did
cry.
it.
I know. I'm getting emotional. Like, this is such a good
it's
way.
true. It's true. And so when I had my second daughter, it's like, okay, you don't know any other way. Let's just copy and repeat.
Yeah.
And that's just been my parenting style. And so now that they're 28 and 22, that's still my parenting style because in my estimation, parenting doesn't end just because they're
Right.
become adults. And so what I get to show them now is they've seen me begin again and kind of like burn into ashes and begin again and pivot and be very nimble and open. And they've also seen what hard work can bring you and sacrifice can bring you. And I feel very motivated to be that person for my daughters. And even at this stage, it's just different. It's just a little different now. But the fact that they're on the payroll.
That's so nice.
I mean, isn't that pretty badass?
That's like a
that's so
different
cool.
family business.
It's
Such a cool family business. Like,
It
you
is
know,
cool.
I know a lot of my friends they're part of their family businesses, but it's not like my mom is a freaking content creator.
Oh my
That's so
gosh.
cool.
I love it. I feel like
Can
it's
you like adopt us?
Yeah.
anytime.
Please.
Not that we could realistically be your children, but
No,
you could
you
adopt
want to
us.
know what's amazing is along the way, my daughters have introduced me to their people, meeting their friends and my daughter's
Yeah.
boyfriend. And so,
Oh my god, I loved hearing you talk about your daughter's
Okay,
boyfriend when
okay.
we were on the Alpine Beauty trip. I was
he's
cracking up.
amazing. He just graduated university himself. He's an artist and he's a genius. And so I'm so happy that she's with someone that literally
That
is
must
her.
feel so good.
I'm so like, okay, that's how you do it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, get it, girl.
Mhm.
And I
cute.
feel I just have like this big capacity to love, and I really do enjoy taking care of people. And so because they have so many great people in their lives, and I feel like, oh, I get to pour my love into them, and we vacation together, and we're gonna spend
Aw.
Christmas together, and we're all flying to Carol's house on Friday.
Aw, how
and
cute.
we started doing that a couple years ago, and Carol and I were like, why are we spending our Christmas apart?
Family.
because
You
family.
work together and you want to holiday together.
we
that
want
says a
we
lot.
want to holiday together, and we decided what we're going to do is like I'll spend my holiday with my Thanksgiving holiday with my family, and she'll do the same with her husband's family. Like
Right.
and then Christmas can be ours. And
That's
so we
so
started doing that, and it's
cute.
absolutely perfect. It's so
That
perfect.
sounds amazing.
And your daughter's boyfriend will come?
For the first time, he is.
Oh wow.
Because we were
Yay.
like, he has literally graduated, I don't know, over the weekend, right around there.
wow.
And so as a graduation present, we just bought him a ticket. We are like, you're going to Texas.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So it's, I mean, for me, I'm like itching. It's like senioritis or
Yeah,
like
ready.
my graduation of the year is coming,
Yes.
and it'll be a pretty big group of us, and
Just
it's
gonna
all
be in
like
your
young adults.
pajamas,
And where are
hanging
you going?
out.
She lives in Dallas.
Okay,
Just
cool.
outside of Dallas. And so I think she has two boys, and one's in college and one's a senior in high school. One's a junior in college, one's a senior in high school. So it's just like young adults and then the three parents, and we just have the best time. It's like, I don't know how many of us it is this year, maybe 10 or something.
Nice.
And we go on vacation together. The same group went to Seoul
Oh wow.
and Japan. Like we've already booked our next summer vacation together. Like we're very, I think that's the other side of the quality of life that is so important. Yes, I have this great career in social media, and yes, I go on brand trips and I do all these things and I network and do all these things in between. But it's so important to make these intentional moments of time where you get to be around the people that
Yeah.
you love and care about, and just, I don't know, let loose a little bit
Yeah.
and just not be so serious and not so like on.
Yeah.
I'm that person I'm always on. I'm
Yeah.
literally wake up on.
Yeah.
But that's also not real. And
Yeah.
I have all of them to remind me that it's not real. Like,
Right.
come on, T, let's go
Yeah.
ice skating, or
Oh.
let's just watch a movie. And
I'm going to give
So-
you a deck of cards that I created. It's like
Oh,
really
yeah.
fun conversation questions.
okay.
And I feel like, the guest we just had, her assistant was here. And she was like, I was playing this with my boyfriend and I got to know him so well. So I feel like with the new boyfriend, and it'll be cute.
Conversation cards.
It's,
Yeah.
They're really
yeah,
fun.
I like
Yeah.
that. And I think we consider ourselves a family now, all the big group of us, and just a different type of family. It's kind
Yeah,
of like
be
a family
cute.
of your chosen people. So that's how I'll spend my holidays and this Christmas. So
That's what family should be.
It'll be
It's
very
your
special.
chosen people.
chosen people. And again, I think I'm glad that my daughters get to see that side of life as well. Like, you can have your family, but it's also okay to have people that you enjoy being around, and prioritize taking some time off and stepping away from
Yes.
this hectic life. I feel like there's so many stressors in the world, and
Yeah.
The U.S. in particular, like we kind of get told to stay on this hamster wheel, and it's like go, 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 go. We don't have vacation like the Europeans. We don't slow down. We don't siesta. And so I think a little bit of shift of that is happening. I know it did for me. I think a lot of people during the pandemic, because it was like
Yeah.
you were home more, you had more time.
Totally.
And I'm very grateful for that.
yeah, I'm honestly, I'm so proud of myself. I think back on my history and I'm just like, wow, girl, this is pretty. Sometimes I'll just lay in my bed and look at the ceiling and I'm like, how did you get here? Like, but I think it's being intentional. It really is. And recognizing when I needed to step away from things and let go of something and be open. And, fear is healthy sometimes, because it can push you to act in ways that you need to be bold.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it always wild when
Yeah.
you look back in retrospect, like when you were deciding to leave your prior career as a flight attendant, and you're taking that step off the ledge, and then you look back and you're like, that's the best decision I ever made. I can't believe I thought so hard about that.
yes.
That's how it was for me when
Yeah.
I became a beauty director, because I was climbing the corporate ladder at Sephora. I wanted to be the next CMO. I was on managing the socials, and the beauty director role opened up, and it was a universe thing. Like I had been talking to my manager like the week before, and she was like, how are you liking it? And I was like, or like working on camera. And I was like, well, I wouldn't change anything unless a beauty director role opened up. And the following week it did. But it was still such a hard decision for me. And I think in part it was my manager at the time, similar to your boss at the time, was amazing and so supportive. And like, I saw the trajectory there, but this was what was healthy for me. And it's just opened up my world
Yeah.
in huge ways. And I look back and I'm like, oh my God, if I wouldn't have made this decision,
Yeah.
I know. I think about that.
because
There's so many things in your life, like whether it's a divorce or anything, you leave something, you leave a country.
It's scary.
Yeah.
For me, I came to LA on a business trip.
Yeah, girl.
And then I went on dates and I met my fiance. If I didn't do any of that, if I didn't have a horrible breakup, I wouldn't have been here in the sofa. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
No, I think that history is important because it pushes us to be the people we are today. And without yesterday, I couldn't be the woman I am today. And I wouldn't change my history for anything. And it's not something, I don't talk about being a teenage mom to just sound cool or something, or it's a part of my history, but it's not something I would change either, because I couldn't be the person I am.
Yeah,
Without
exactly.
Yeah.
Being a mother really shaped me. And then, of course, moving into the flight attending and now into what I do now as a content creator, all of those things, I was meant to do all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to do all those things to be the person I am today. And so I'm just proud. I just sit here proud, like, yeah, girl.
You should
I'm
be.
proud of you.
I'm proud.
I mean, I just met you and I'm like, wow.
Don't you just want to,
I'm
like,
amazed by you.
I just want to, like,
your
You're
whole
so
journey. I'm just sitting
sweet.
here
You're
quietly,
so
like, oh wow.
sweet.
no.
Yeah.
You're so sweet. It's a
You're
lot in there.
amazing.
When I say that I've had, 46, I'll be 47 in May. I mean, the history of my life is it's so concentrated in those years. But that means I've been living. I've been trying. I've been testing. I've been willing to fail and start over again.
Yeah.
And I think
the
that's a
willingness
beautiful
to
thing.
fail,
Yeah.
I do have a question though.
Sure.
I know you had a rock bottom moment for that year that you were at home with the parents, right? Did you have other moments after that where you were like, I don't think I can, or I was so depressed, I was so low and I can't come out of this situation?
Did it happen more than once?
Yeah.
It didn't.
Okay.
I would say that
It just-
year was so traumatizing.
Yeah.
I mean, very much so. I don't even, I'm not the same person after that year. I'm still not the same person. Like, when people are like, oh, I just want to get back to how I used to be, gone. She's gone. She's gone. And
For the better.
I think she needed
Yeah.
to be gone. And
Yeah.
so from then, it was about learning about the person I wanted to be. I'd spent all my 20s trying to be this great person for my daughters, and I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know who
Yeah.
I was. And so I spent my 30s discovering who Tennille is. And that was so, so important. Those liberties that, young people take when they're dating and they're going out and they're kind of just figuring things out. I never did that. And so I used my 30s not to go out there and, go to parties and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really understanding my needs, being okay with silence in my head, like with me. That is something that I was not comfortable with. Eating alone, traveling alone. I went to cities all by myself. Yes, I have pilots that I'm with, but I'm
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
And that was
best
the
feeling.
first time. And so I feel like because I was so low and so broken and so lost there at 31, that I used that as a benchmark. If it ain't that bad, it ain't bad. Like, whatever situation you're in, does it feel like this? No, girl, then let's
move
do
on.
it. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
And I used it to kick myself in the ass and to really gain some perspective. And I think that I'm a vinegar person who takes vinegar and is like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And how are we going to, find a solution? And so for me, I'm grateful that I was able to have that mindset and really use that as a moment to, like, okay, if this is your benchmark of how shitty things can be, if nothing is close to that, then we're okay. And so ever since then, it's just been an encouragement for me. Like,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
so,
like-
yeah,
that's encouraging to hear.
Yes.
yeah. I just look at life as like one big gift, and time is literally the most precious thing that we're each given. And I don't want to waste a minute of it. And I'm so honored to be here with you and give you this time. Like, it's very special. And I feel like that's how I feel when I'm creating content too. Like, this is very special what I get to do. So let me put my heart into it.
And this is why you're so successful and people resonate with you so much. Like, we all need a dose of Tennille because of this energy, because of your perspective and the way you've just transmuted everything into gratitude. And
It does. I do try to lead my life with gratitude. And I think it's when you have enough experience in life, you have perspective and you know the difference. And you're like, okay, yeah, I need to find the beauty in this moment, even if it's not a great moment. What is the beauty in this moment? And if you are able to do that, I don't know, it's like you're refusing to give, I don't know, negative emotions the leverage in your life. And I think that that's
Kinda
something
taking the
that's
power back.
very important for me.
Very important for a lot of people.
Yeah, the giving leverage to, I don't know, negative feelings. I'm even careful about what I watch on TV now because
Really?
I
I
feel
am
like
too.
it will creep into my
Yeah.
subconscious in ways that I did that. Like, well, why did you consume something that was going to make you feel that way? Like, so it's even as careful as that. So I try to be. You can't always protect yourself in all things. That's not what I'm talking about. But I don't like to let myself give in to I don't know.
That low vibrational energy.
That low energy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wait.
Negative
I tell
vibes.
my daughter, my younger daughter, she a little drama sometimes. Not because she's drama, but the way that she communicates and storytells is so heightened and so passionate. And I'm just like, girl, I just got back from the gym. We just did some good things at the gym. I need you to take it down. I really need to like have zen right now. Just her way. And I'm like, she's like, Mom. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's cute.
I vibe with you.
yeah, she's got that Real Housewife energy going.
That's
Sometimes.
so funny.
That's, I mean, she's like taking a shower, watching or listening to Real Housewives. And I'm like,
Oh
that's
my
how you want to kick
gosh.
off the day? But 22,
I know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's,
You don't know who you are until you're 30, I don't think. I don't know anyone who did.
Yeah,
I certainly didn't.
completely.
And maybe
different
not
person.
exactly 30, but around that age. Isn't that like the return of Saturn in astrology? I think that's what they call it.
Mhm.
Is between like 27 and 30 something is like a huge transition. And it seems to be really common for a lot of people. Like my for lack of a cheesier term, awakening was around the same time as yours. But
Mine too.
yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So then it must be facts.
I don't know.
Because all three of us.
All three of us.
I dabble in astrology. I'm no expert.
That's
Tennille, I admire you so much. I love having you around. I so appreciated you coming to our launch party and for doing this and doing it so vulnerably and sharing your story with all of us. So thank you.
Yeah,
no,
thank you so
for
much.
having me.
You're
I
the
loved
perfect
getting to know
guest.
you. Yeah, I loved getting to know you.
You are
and
the
so
beauty
inspiring.
manifest. Like you are everything that we are trying to
Thank
emulate
you.
here. So
This is so special, and I do feel like I'm like sitting here in a very special moment. So thank you
It's
for having me.
cozy.
No, it's so
Cute.
cozy.
we keep it cozy.
We'll have you back for round 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure our
Oh my gosh.
audience is going to want to know more things about you.
Part 2. There's
Next
so many
year.
things. ...
Yeah.
More to come.
Let's get down and dirty.
Bye, Ty.
He's so cute. He just thought you were like, Ty, please leave.
Definitely the most dramatic person in this household.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, we're keeping this.
Pretty high bar for that, though.
Recording.
It's okay. Akash just wants to be in our outro as well. I'm just kidding.
I know.
No, but seriously, I don't want to keep you. We're going to keep
Yeah.
this outro quick because Natasha is getting married. So we hope you loved this
You
episode.
know, you said that and it just like, it hit me. I was like, wait, what? What? Am I getting married? I
and you
didn't
just
know
became
that.
English as
Yeah,
well.
what? What are you talking about?
We're going to celebrate.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited.
and I'm just so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy we did this.
I'm really happy we did this. I'm really happy with this episode. And I think everyone is just going to be, the way we were glued to Tennille, they're going to be glued to
Yeah.
the screen or on audio.
Yes. And you can find her at, I think it's either at the Tennille Life or at Tennille Life. We'll put a little pop-up on the screen so you can just copy and paste. But just killer content, authenticity, like gratitude,
Super mom.
love, just joy. Give her a follow, trust. And we'll see you all next time.
See you.
Bye.